Hello and thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Sasha Reed and today I've got a fun tutorial using metallic watercolors. These are the Arteza metallic gouaches. Now I have seen loads of people using the Altenew metallic paints and I was like, oh, I really want them, I really want them. And then I remembered I have some. So I've got these which are on a much lower price point than the Altenew ones. You get 12 colors and I've just popped them in this empty half pan case here, which is also from Arteza. The other colors you can see are the normal gouaches, but I've just popped those metallic ones in that corner, or in that edge. Now I wanted to share with you because I've been having so many issues with these tins and trying to paint, but I've got these flaps hanging everywhere. And then all of a sudden I realized you can just pull the middle out. So I feel like such a muppet because I've been sat there going, oh, this is so hard to film with all these things getting in the way. But never mind. I'm using this black cardstock from AlinaCraft. It's 400 GSM and it is really, really thick and it's really good for this technique because it doesn't really curl when I'm adding water because it's so thick. I've got my Alina clear embossing powder, my Versamark embossing pad, and then a little embossing buddy. I changed my mind and I decided to go with one square card and one normal sort of front panel kind of card, normal shaped card, I guess you could say. And I'm using these two stamp sets here. You can hit pause if you want to take a closer look, but I will put all the links for everything I'm showing you today down in the description box. So if you want to check it out, I'll put it all down there. Occasionally I do forget, so do ping me a little reminder if I've forgotten anything. But I find nothing more frustrating than watching a video and not being able to check out what somebody else has used. So I'll always be providing the links in the bottom for you. I also will put all the links to the tools that you see me using as well for your convenience. And most of them are affiliate links, and I do really appreciate you using the affiliate links. They don't cost you anything more, but it's kind of the company's way of acknowledging that I've shared their products and they kind of give me a very small portion of the sale, so that's quite nice. Now I've just applied my clear embossing powder and I did forget to use my little embossing buddy, so I'm making sure to use it on this second one here. And I'm taking my butterfly stamps on this second one and applying them on. I did use my Tim Holtz platform for the first one just because I wanted to make sure I got a nice solid image, and because it's so much bigger I decided to stamp it a couple times with my Versamark ink. With the butterflies I don't really need to because they're quite nice and easy going. So I'm just sticking down some butterflies in a random order and then sprinkling my clear embossing powder on. I really like Alina's embossing powder. It's got a great price point and it's an ultra fine embossing powder, so it always melts beautifully. Every color I've got from her, which I think I've got them all now, they are fantastic. So I'll link them down below. She's on AliExpress, so she ships worldwide. The stamps are from Craft Stash, which I purchased myself and I love them, and they also ship worldwide as well. Arteza only ship to the UK and the US, but I will put their links down below. Someone said I think that they ship to certain places in Europe as well, so it's worth checking them out. I have just gone ahead and applied some water to each of those little squares so that I can kind of moisten up the gouache. So what you do is you put your gouache into the little palette there, or you could just squeeze a little bit onto a clear block or onto one of your surfaces and use it that way. It's really versatile, but if you do stick it in a pan you can let it dry and then it works the same as a watercolor and you can just add a little bit of water and pick it up again. So I really love the result of this. I don't know why I've not used these on black cardstock before, but the color is amazing. You can see how vibrant it is, and the way you see it is how it has dried as well. So it's very pigmented and it really shows up beautifully on this black cardstock. So I'm just going ahead and applying color. You'll see that I've changed my brush a couple times because I couldn't make up my mind with which one worked the best. I wanted to add something to the background, so I just decided to add some of those splatters of gold. I wanted to kind of splatter it, but I thought if I actually splatter it, then I am going to get my butterflies all covered as well. So I kind of just did dots, and it does look a little childish, and, but it also kind of goes with the feel of a funny random front of the card, and I think it looks really nice in the end. So now I'm just painting these flowers and adding on color to each of the leaves. The embossing powder is great because it kind of resists your paint. So It does start to struggle to resist my paint because it gets it's absorbed so much of the water that it gets kind of like a paste rather than a paint, but the application is beautiful, and so I quite like that pigmented look and that solid look. Painting these little stems was dead easy. I thought, oh my word, how am I going to do this? But it was painting them was so easy because I applied that embossing powder. My paint just kind of glides into those little crevices in between. So it actually worked out really well, and I only had a couple oopsies. Now the way I've removed the oopsies, you might have seen me doing it in my video already, is I just take a wet clean paintbrush and just kind of rub over top of those oopsies, and then I just kind of wipe it away essentially with my paintbrush like I'm doing there. Just there, I just did it on that yellow flower. So you can pick it up and lift it off, which is really nice. So there's my finished flower card, and the shine is gorgeous. It's really hard to see, but it is beautiful. I've got this pearlescent card from Tonic that I picked up, and I'm just going to layer it underneath there, and I've cut a card base to fit. So all my cards are about 1/8 of an inch in different size, and I basically measure my stamp and then kind of go from there as to what size of card base I'll do. I cut all my own card bases. I absolutely love it. I love the versatility that you can get when you make your own cards. And I just have every size of envelope I think you could possibly own. So half my office is probably envelopes. But I love it because it means that I can send anything, any size. So I've got a big stack of envelopes. I've also got those kind of paper bag envelopes, so you can kind of squish them down to whatever size you want. So I never have to worry about an envelope. And I just cut my card to fit my stamp. So I'm just layering them up and using my Tonic Nouveau glue, which is back in stock everywhere. Woohoo! The Tailored Expressions stamp set, simple strips, and I picked these up from a shop in the States. If I can, I will put their link down for their website. It was quite expensive to ship it over here, but I love them and I use them all the time. So I just heat embossed it in gold and cut it out with the dies. This is my Alina double-sided foam tape. This is the 5mm tape. Mega handy when doing various kinds of shaker cards or sticking these kind of elements on. Is such a perfect size. So I'm just sticking that one down onto the front there. I've got my Nouveau drops, which is in the gold color. And I'm just going to go ahead and add some random dots. I'm a bit rubbish at adding random, so I do struggle quite a bit to try and work out where my randomness is going to go. But I think I did well on this one. And that's kind of how I finished off the front of this card. I've also gone ahead and cut a little panel to go on the inside. When it's dry, I'll stick it in. And that will be my place where I can write my message on the inside. So moving on to decorating the next card, the butterfly one that we did. Again, I am layering it up. I'm adding on some gold foil to kind of go with my little gold theme of my gold splotches. And again, this is a card that I kind of cut. I think the end card was 4.5 by 4.5 inches. So I did cut my square panel to a nice, normal, decent size. And then I cut my layers to kind of fit that front panel. And I'm just adhering it to the back. I've got these dies from Alina's shop, and I love these dies. I love her word dies. I will link them down below. They are so versatile. You can cut the shadow or just the word. They're so much fun. And I've got this new sentiment stamp set, Sentiment Strips 2 from Altenew. And I'm really excited about it because you can cut out little strips yourself, just like the Tailored Expression ones. And I've got some more sentiments to use. This is my vellum. I take a sheet of Alina's double-sided A4 sticky back sheets, and I just stick the whole entire thing to one whole entire sheet of vellum cardstock, and then I keep it on my desk, so when I want to use little bits of vellum, like I'm going to do for the back of this hello, the shadow for the hello, I can just cut out a piece and cut it out of my vellum. So that was kind of my little tip and trick for vellum. It makes it so that you can apply your vellum and you don't see any of the adhesive because the whole entire thing is adhesive. I've die cut out of the same black cardstock 3 hellos and then one out of the gold foil, which is the same foil I used on the backing for my card, and I'm just stacking them up to give them a nice stacked look. And then to the right there I've got my vellum, which has got the sticky back on it, so it is see-through, but the sticky paper has got a yellow lining on it. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere that to the vellum. And then I'll just peel off that yellow backing, and then I can attach it straight to my card, and you'll see you can't see any adhesive. It's absolutely brilliant. Do make sure you check which way your card goes, because the amount of times I've stuck it down and got it the wrong direction. I decided to use It's Time to Party from the Altenew set and my VersaFine black onyx ink, or onyx black ink I should say. This is the best black ink I've ever found. It does take a little bit longer to dry because it is a pigment ink, but I love it and it works so brilliant for a nice clear black ink. I apologize there, I was trying to adjust my camera so you could see what I was doing, and then with my video footage being sped up, it kind of makes you feel a little dizzy, doesn't it? So again, I've gone ahead and cut out a little sentiment strip to go underneath the hello, and I'm just going to take Alina's foam tape and just chop it in half. It cuts really nicely with my Tim Holtz non-stick scissors, and then I can go ahead and apply that onto the back, and I won't have any of that foam tape showing out the sides. So this finishes off this card here, and I love how they both turned out. Oh, sorry, I do put a panel on the inside so you have somewhere to write. Again, I'll link everything down below, and this finishes off both my cards. So I hope you had fun, and I hope you enjoyed seeing how this metallic paint works on the black cardstock, and I do hope you subscribe and hit that bell button, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.